Greetings, I'm Epictetus, and this is Epic Tech. Yeah. So, we got a little bit of a different episode today. This isn't part of the normal series. This is actually a tour of a ship I built that you can see in the background. It's a little bit unique. I kind of was falling asleep one night, and I was thinking about spherical gravity generators and various other things, and I thought, hey, I wonder. So I put this thing together. It took me about, I think I worked on it for about 12 hours straight one day. And I want to show you. It's not perfect. It's not really done, in my opinion, but it is, well, showable, I guess. So let's take a look. As you can see, it is round, and it makes good use of that spherical gravity generator. So let's take a look. Oh, it was pressurized. The whole inside is pressurized, and that took quite a while. I'm going to turn off my jetpack, and you'll notice I'm leaning just a little bit. That happens throughout the entire ship. This is the bridge right here, and you can see that there's I've got a lot of scripts running on this thing. There's the floor plan script running right there. This is the main cockpit with a passenger seat next to it, just because this ship is unfortunately not odd numbered. It's got a dual center, if you know what I mean. The center is between two blocks. That cockpit up there looks a little bit strange, but I will show you that later. And so there's just kind of some basic information around up here. This is the inventory, which if I let me just toss all the stuff I've got into the bridge small cargo there, and you'll see they all show up there. It's the entire inventory for the base, and all the information about the various different drives and reactors and whatnot, and the pressurization status over there. Let's go take a look in the medical center. So these signs, there's signs all the way around. You can see it says production over there, and it says medical right here. That's what you're going to get to if you walk, or run. You can see there's a gorgeous view from pretty much everywhere on the ship. The glass goes all the way around. So here's medical. So you've got, you can see the bridge is back where we came from. We've got cryo chambers, and we've got a medical room. And there we go. That's a better position for my microphone. So we got a medical room here and a couple of vents. And the next section around is the reactors, and all the computers and timers are all in here. And there's just kind of a big status for that. And then as we go around to the next section, this is production. And this is, we are standing directly on top of a couple of refineries and assemblers. And this is all the status. This is Tim running right here. So we can see the status of our ores and our components and whatnot. And this is, I built this all in creative mode. So there's a couple of sample ores on there, but that's about it. And then if we keep going this direction, we will get back to the bridge. There is also a passageway that goes all the way from here to the center and back out the other side to the reactor room, which is on the exact opposite side. So we can step through here, and normally you'd want your jetpack on, but I actually haven't tried this in survival yet, but I think you would actually not take damage, because it's more like a slide than anything else. And we just depressurized the corridor there, because this room is not pressurized. This room, and this is going to get real confusing real fast. So we're going to go down this ramp here, and we're going to find ourselves facing... Oh, I've got my jetpack on, so it's not too bad. That is the spherical gravity generator. So normally we would be standing on that if I didn't have my jetpack on. And this is a very small hangar. I thought about making it a little bit bigger, but this isn't meant to be carrying a large ship. But you could... I actually put the Void Corp Sunspider in here. It actually will connect, if you've ever seen that ship. It'll actually connect to that connector and stay inside that space. You have a little protection. You can see there's some drills all the way around. They're not really meant for any kind of heavy mining. It's not a mining ship, but in a case, where you are desperate for something, it works. Runs entirely on hydrogen. There's no ion thrusters on here. I thought about putting them on. I probably should put a few ion thrusters in just in case of emergency, but I have not done that yet. And then if we go up, you can see that was the center room we were just in a second ago with the funky gravity, and then there's the two corridors, passages, I think they're technically called, that run between the bridge and and we're upside down. Well, upside down, what does that mean with this ship, right? The bridge is there on the right, and the computers and generators are there on the left, as well as the jump drives. And then up there, I believe that's medical. And then down there is production. You can see the assemblers and refineries down there. Now, one of the things about this ship, and there's also 2 missile turrets and I think 4 or 6. I think there's 6 Gatling turrets on this as well for protection. Well, actually, you could, do. It's not really meant as an offensive ship. Also, you'll note that there are no airlocks. I do, however, have another script running on here that it's I can't remember what it's called. Lockdown, oxygen lockdown by M-Master. And it automatically shuts any doors to a section that gets depressurized. So if you go out a door, yes, you'll lose some pressurization, but being a hydrogen-based ship, it's always going to have a lot of ice and a lot of oxygen generators. And it's actually not that much space. Although it seems large, but it's actually not that much space and refills really fast after you depressurize. You can see up there, it'll show real quick. That was the wrong door to open. That one doesn't open to the outside. This one opens to the outside, and sorry about that. And you can see that it says leaking, drops to 0%. The passages stay pressurized, but then it goes right back up to 100% very quickly. It doesn't take long. There's a lot of vents on the ship as well. All right, let me show you some of the performance of this. So let's get the HUD back on, and you can see I'm at a standstill, but if I start going forward, we can get up to 100 meters per second in a matter of a few seconds. And because it's mirrored on the other side, it drops back down very quickly. And I'm carrying a lot of ore, so this ship is not normally 2 million kilograms. We've actually got, let's see, you can't really tell from that, but I can look over here real quick. Okay, so I guess it's not. We've got 100 kilograms in there, and then we've got another, well, actually we've got a lot of ice. So, we're probably 300 or 400 kilograms more than we normally would have on this ship. So, it's got enough gyros that it can turn pretty quickly for a ship. Whoa! Okay, that was just a hiccup in the game. It can turn pretty quickly for a ship this size. Now, as an added treat, this ship is actually, I don't have any of these set up for some reason. Let's see, let's go jump drive, jump, and I'm going to jump in, and we're going to jump as close to that planet as possible. Yes. As an added treat, this ship actually can land on a planet and collect ice for the hydrogen. There, like I said, the ship's not completely done. There is one problem, and that is that when the jump drives go to recharge, they completely kill. Oh, okay, it doesn't take too long to recharge, but they completely kill the gyros. There's no space, or there's no power left for the gyros, and so they shut off. And so you either got to turn off the recharge for the jump drives or wait till they recharge before you can actually rotate. But I wanted to show you. Let's see if we can find a lake. I think there's... Oh, there we go. There's a lake. And I'll go ahead and fast forward through this section. Okay, so right about here, you can see that the artificial gravity is dropping while the planet's gravity is increasing. And that's where that other cockpit comes in. So we're actually going to hop out of this one and get into the other cockpit and go into surface mode. It's a good thing we have jetpacks. Okay. This says it's not the main cockpit. Oh, it's not the main cockpit. Hang on. What? Got to turn that one off. I must have replaced that. Okay. Let's get into this cockpit. There we go. And now, go back into this mode. And now the ship is flying in a completely different orientation. And we got about 10,000 feet to go. Let's take a look around us. And yeah. So I'm just going to head... Yeah, that's going. Okay. Oh, okay. I couldn't see the rear thrusters. So we're just going to kind of head toward that lake over there, though this one might be closer. Let's go to this one. Yeah, that's closer. Now, one thing you're going to want to do is keep an eye on that altimeter, because while this thing does stop pretty quickly, it does not stop on a dime. So I've turned my inertial dampeners back on, and you can see our speed is slowing very quickly. As a matter of fact, according to the altimeter, we're gaining altitude. Oh, that's because we're going over the lake instead of before we were over a mountain. So we'll just go ahead and get over the lake and probably at this point just use our down thrust. And again, keeping an eye on that altimeter. Trying to be as level as possible. And keep in mind it is... The altimeter is from the camera, I believe. Let's see. No, I guess not. Or from... Maybe it's from the player. Alright. So we're going to try and keep an eye on those landing gear. There we go. And we can turn off the hydros and lock in the landing gear there. Now we've got ourselves these drills, which I'm going to set to. This is the maximum distance. I'm going to reverse them and then increase the maximum distance a little bit at a time, but turn on the drills. And I'm just going to very slowly move them forward. And as we do so, it's going to gather quite a bit. And we can actually Oh, that's right. We can't actually see it from this one. I've been thinking about adding a screen somewhere that can be seen by this cockpit. Because it's kind of that direction, which I guess we can see it from here. If we look, we can just barely see that it says 56,000 iron. That's iron. I don't know why it doesn't show ice. Oh, it's down the corner. 600 and something. That's a little better. And that number should be going up. It's hard to see from here. And like I said, I'm thinking I want to add another thing. So every time I hit 8 to extend those things, you can see that number going up. I don't know if you can. Maybe I'll see if I can zoom in on that. So anyway, if we go back out and look this way, you can see those are in there quite a bit. And this would work for any other mineral or whatnot, but lakes are really handy to do that with. And you can see our total mass is now up to 2.1 million. And you want to be careful not to go too fast, or else you're going to end up breaking the drills off. But I've used this to get several other ores as well, and it works, if not amazingly. So that's good enough. We'll go ahead and reverse those and turn our thrusters back on, disconnect, and off we go. Now, I haven't tried this in survival yet. Everything's been in creative, which means I don't know exactly how long you can last on one tank of hydrogen, or not one tank. I have at least 4 plus a whole bunch of oxygen generators. So in theory, it should be able to handle it, but if not, I'll have to add a few more tanks. As you can see, there's plenty of room to add more on the inside of that hub there. If I need to add more, I can also remove one of those 3 large cargo containers, because those are probably overkill. It does, when you're on a planet, it does require a jetpack to be able to get out of this thing. There's no runway or anything like that, but it does have let's go ahead and just come to a stop on a fairly level plane here. And I'm going to run around. Also, the back wall of what was... Oh, don't need my jetpack here. The back wall of what was, the normal way around here acts as your floor when you are in gravity mode. So you can still run all the way around. And all of the doors are now... not all the doors, but all the doors in and out of the center now act the right way. They're facing the right way. Excuse me. There we go. And the that walkway that we saw before that was really goofy now all of a sudden makes sense. And same with this hangar. It's all designed specifically for gravity. I have noticed there's a little bit of drift, but I know that in Space Engineers, a lot of ships have this drift. Excuse me? No? What's going on? Oh, my dampeners were off. Okay. I've noticed that a lot of large ships in Space Engineers have that same drift issue. So we could add a gangplank or something like that there that would lower down to where the landing gear are. I don't know why I can never think of the word landing gear. I think I might do that too. Just something that will kind of act as a door and then drop down so that you could drive a buggy out of there or something along those lines. Since it is acting pretty well. I was designed for space, but it's acting pretty well in an oxygen environment. I also probably need to add signs saying which direction the cockpit is, because, oh, good grief. There we go. Anyway, there you go. It works great in an oxygen environment as well as in space, and I'm pretty proud of it. I got to tell you, I'm very happy with this thing, and I've already taken it down to the planet and back out to space. This will be the second time. I think next time I'm going to try it in a survival world and see how those hydrogen thrusters last on the tanks that I have, and maybe I'll add more. It's a work in progress. It's not perfect, but I'm pretty proud of it so far. I'm losing altitude. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh no. Okay, well, guess what? Well, I guess you got to see it crash too, which is, always fun. And that was cool. I forgot that there are 4 thrusters on the bottom, and it needs all 4 to actually lift on a 1G planet. So I was in the oxygen cockpit, which kind of tricks you. You have to, when you're in that cockpit, you actually have to use a space bar and point forward. You can't point up at the stars and go forward. Anyway, well, that's probably a good tour for now. If I make any major upgrades to it, I will do an addendum to this video. I hope you enjoy it. I will put this up on the Steam Workshop, and there should be a link in the description. So if you want to play around with it, or even see if you can upgrade it, see if you can improve things. It's not the greatest design. There's definitely room for improvement, and I would love to see if anybody can suggest ways to make it look better, to make it work better, if anyone wants to try it in different environments and tell me what they think. I would love to hear any comments. All right. That's it for now. I'll see you next time on Epic Tech.